So let's catch up for a minute.
Okay.
What's going on with you?
Well, this week I had an amazing experience
Okay.
when I decided to watch 2 hours of the Pauly Shore podcast. Now, as everybody in our audience would know, I don't hate Pauly Shore. I don't hate him. I want to study him like an amoeba under a microscope. Okay? That's my Pauly Shore.
All right.
But yeah, I was like, okay, I know he has a podcast. He talks about his podcast all the time and stuff. Fuck it. I watch the Rogan. I watch the Tom Segura and, his podcast and Bill Barr and, things of that nature,
Burr,
whatever.
Bill Burr.
But I was like, I want to watch the Pauly Shore podcast. So I sat 2 hours. You would think like, wow, you took 2 hours of your life and watched this and stuff. It went by quick. It went by quick. Like, I think time was just speeding up for me. So it's amazing. It's amazing. First of all, it's like dealing with a child running around with a rattlesnake. Like, no, give me that. And I'm just sitting there doing that. And like, he's just all over the place. And he was eating a sandwich. And Pauly loves to like eat a sandwich and talk at the same time, which was fucking disgusting. Just sitting there, he's just like, just like, fuck you, Pauly Shore. And then he's doing all his, wheezing the juice and nogging the noggles and whatever Pauly Shore's like little catchphrases and stuff was going on. And it's crazy, especially the people that kind of just like leeched on to him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, who the fuck is this? And it's just like I met this guy at where did I meet you? And he's like, oh, I'm a paper boy at like the local grocery store and stuff. He told me, come on over, Pauly. In Vegas. He's living out in Vegas. And like he was like deciding, one of the episodes I watched, he was deciding if he wanted to stay in Vegas or if he wanted to go back to LA. And I guess his female companion was like, no, Pauly, there's so many lap dances that you haven't had yet and stuff. And I was like, oh God, there's some poor woman out there that are like, she's with her friends. She's just crying uncontrollably. Like, I had a one night stand with Pauly Shore. He seemed like a nice guy.
All right, so you brought that up, so I'll bring up.
Yeah.
I watched the Pauly Shore documentary on either Hulu or Amazon. I can't remember. And in the beginning, there's a stripper at one of the clubs that he shows up to. And when I say club, I mean the bowling alley that has the comedy club above it. He shows up there and there's a stripper that comes to see him and she's like pulling him aside like, hey, you remember back in like 1996 when we banged in the grotto at the Playboy Mansion? He's like, oh, no, that's cool though. And then she's like, yeah, I've been living out of my car, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh. And then, no, I think it was actually at a strip club. Yeah, it was at a strip club. And so he gets her a job at the strip club that he's at so that she like disappears. And she's like very drunk and like fucked up on drugs and shit. And it's just like.
And I bet she had that same experience where her and her friends are just like, I know, you banged Pauly Shore. It's okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I can't believe I did it. It was just one moment. I just had a moment of weakness or something. And like, but see, I'm not hating on Pauly Shore. I just find him fascinating. The kind of fascinating where I want to study him under a microscope.
All right. Fair enough.
He's that type of person that like he stopped aging, not physically, but like mentally, where it's just like, if I was Pauly, I would be like, yeah, maybe it's time for you to try to like, make careers or, think of something to do and whatnot instead of like, being Pauly Shore for a while and
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I like Pauly Shore. I have the Defense of Pauly Shore video. But, dude, that documentary was sad.
Yeah, it is.
It was sad. Like, he was in, like, rooms this size.
Yeah.
Like, you could see this isn't the biggest room. And he's playing to, like, 30 people.
Yeah.
And it's just, it was sad. I love Pauly Shore, and I wish he was a lot better off. But I'm sure a lot of it's his own fault.
Yeah.
Like, he probably blew his money pretty quick.
He was sitting there in one of the podcasts, he was sitting there and he's like, I need all of y'all who watch this podcast to go to the HBO Max or the Disney Plus, and I need y'all to say that you want to see Pauly Shore in more movies and stuff. And I'm like, oh no.
You know, I still haven't watched House Guest yet. He's in that, and so is Steve-O and a couple of other randoms. And I really want to see it. He plays a house guest that moves into like the pool house of a friend's house and won't leave.
Is it a movie or is it a documentary?
It's another documentary, but
I think it's time to get Pauly Shore out of our pool house and stuff, and he's just out there. Fucking, I don't know, but
all right. So overall, you would say, please watch the Pauly Shore podcast.
oh, I don't know. I think it's an acquired taste. I think a lot of people would like put it on and go, "Oh my gosh, this is annoying." But you know, if you kind of like are just interested, you know, in this and whatnot, you know, there are moments in there that are kind of like cringy, and then there are moments in there where it's like watching a dog limp down the street. You know, it's like, that's so sad. I'm not gonna help it, but that's sad. Yeah. You know, watch it. You know, yeah, give them some subscriptions and stuff, and make them feel
after
wanted.
I watched that documentary, I went to his website because they had like a throwback T-shirt.
Yeah.
That was like, it was super awesome looking because it was just so fucking 90s.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is awesome. I clicked on it. It was like $54,
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wait, what? Who is this? Who's this for?
I need you to pay my alimony.
Yeah.
Oh, weasel. But yeah, there's like I said, there's those moments and stuff with Pauly Shore where, like, you know, he's overcharging for a T-shirt, something that probably, you know, one, he didn't make it. He probably got an art designer, you know, like, okay, all I do is spend $500 on this art designer to make a weasel shirt, and then like I can charge like however much I want. And they were like, well, it'd probably be good at 50 and stuff. And he's like, I'm just gonna be sitting on these boxes or something, you know. So
Well, he's definitely sitting on them now. 'Cause
Yeah,
As
yeah,
far as I know, they're still available.
yeah, I mean,
But anyways, that's our episode on Freddy versus Jason versus Predator.
you see what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to talk about these stupid fucking movies.